morning. Hi. Hi. Good morning. Happy Saturday. How is everyone today? Oh, I think I need, not quite. Oh, I've been up since 4:45. Had this thing going where if I wake up in the middle of the night, then it's done for. So I have been like twiddling my thumbs I've been ready for quite a while, which is good. There was no scrambling this morning, which I'm happy to say. However, that does mean I need another sip of coffee this morning. So hello. Happy Saturday. Welcome. I didn't get my sip yet, so let me have my sip. Or maybe I need to have my gulp. I'll have another one. Anyhow, welcome you guys. Welcome. Carmen wants to see that. Is it in the room? Is what in the room? I don't think, maybe you're not talking to me, Carmen. Hello, everyone. Hi. Welcome. Welcome to another one of our creative listing sessions on Saturday. It is Saturday morning, the 11th, and my name is Layle. I have a business called Layle by Mail. So if you are new to my channel or if you're new to our Saturdays listing together, this is what we do. When I'm not traveling, we're here on my YouTube channel and we do what I like to call creative listing. So I provide a couple of different listing topics ahead of time. You can always find those either on my blog. You can subscribe to my channel and click the notify button, and you'll be notified when those videos are scheduled, number one, and then when they're ready to go live, number two. Those emails, or excuse me, the YouTube things, I'll always have a link to the blog post which has the listing topics for that session. So I also send out an email every Thursday/Friday with those that information as well. So that's how you know if we are listing and what we'll be listing about. I also have published a listing schedule, so a schedule when we will be together listing through the end of May. You'll find that on that blog post. You'll find a link to that. I think I put it there in the description box of the video, so the little area below the video here. And then, well, it's pretty much everywhere. It's on the Facebook group. It's on the Layle by Mail Facebook page, pinned to both of those. So I know sometimes you're like, are we listing this week or not? Because as I'm traveling, things get a little crazy and we don't list. So anyhow, welcome to you. If you have been with me for quite a while, welcome, love having you here. And if you are a brand new newbie, love having you here too. If you like to participate in the chat and kind of be social, sorry, hang on. If you like to participate in the chat and like to be social, there is a live chat that takes place. So if you're watching live, I see that over on the right-hand side of my screen, and I see all kinds of things scrolling by right now that I have no idea what they're saying. But it is a great spot to pop in, say hello, chime in. Even if you have been around for a while, long-time listener, first-time caller type of scenario, still pop in and say hi. I'd love to know that you are here. If you are watching the replay, welcome to you. You can also go back and look at the chat. You can see it as it happened live, but obviously because it's not live anymore, you can't chime in on any of those things, but you can always leave a comment on the video. So let me take a quick look at the chat, okay? So I can say hello. I saw, is it Deborah? Deborah, 4 car accidents this month. Is that what you said in the chat? Oh my goodness, woman. And it sounds like you're okay from all of them, but that is just crazy. That is crazy. We're talking about weather. We're talking about weather in California, which, hello, craziness. Here in Utah, which is where I live. Even more snow last night. We have so much snow, it's not even funny. It's really good because we suffer from the drought every year in the summertime and in the spring. We are a high mountain desert, so we very much rely on the snowfall and the precipitation over the winter for all of our kind of water. I think that we will flood this year. The last time we had this much snow and still have this much snow by this time of the year was 1983, and the whole downtown Salt Lake flooded. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting. So I hope everyone is staying safe. Some of you are in crazy weather. Some of you are in beautiful weather year round. My San Diego friends, I'm always very jealous of you. That's where I would be. That's where I would live because you kind of get that nice temperate about 75. Well, not year round because I know it gets a little bit colder in the winter, but yeah, that's where I would be. Hi, Nancy. Nancy said, good morning. Oh my goodness, Nancy. I'm so glad I saw this. I have to read it. Nancy said, good morning, ladies. Bottle feeding a baby calf and making yeast rolls this morning. Crazy Illinois farm life. I love that you're bottle feeding a baby calf. And Nancy, I love how you've shared your stories with us in the past about driving all the big farming equipment and during harvest in the fall and all that. It's just so neat. One of the coolest things, you guys, I think, which has come out of all of this that we've been doing for the last 3 years, you may not have known this, March 21st is the 3-year anniversary of our listing sessions. Things look a little weird. I think I know why. We might need that. March 21st is the 3-year anniversary of our kind of being together here on Saturdays. So March 25th, which is 2 weeks from today, we have a very big, long, large, all-day celebration with some fun, lots of fun goodness planned. So mark that on your calendar. March 25th, 2023, 9 a.m. Pacific time, all day. Doesn't mean you have to be here all day. It's like an open house. You can come and go, but I will be here all day with the exception of 1 hour. So I take a little break. But one of the coolest things about this last 3 years is there's such a diverse mixture of people here. And I love that. Nancy lives on a farm and is a farmer. We have people from all over the world. We have people in different stages of life. We have different people in different parts of the country, in different parts of the world, different people with different careers, different people with different families. It's just really neat. And I've loved kind of getting to know you guys over that period of time. So Nancy, I'm glad you popped in and said that. Jane is in Central Illinois, not far from farm country too. She is, yes, she's in Central Illinois farm country as well. Oh my goodness. Colleen, hi Colleen, said today is the 3rd-year anniversary of the WHO, the World Health Organization, declaring COVID a pandemic. Yeah, but that's what started this whole thing. You guys, us being together on YouTube was the start of the pandemic and me going, oh my goodness, what the world is going on? And I'd been on YouTube. I had a channel for a couple of years, but really had not done much on it. So that whole pandemic is what really kind of drove what we do here on Saturdays, which is one of the best things for me personally that has come out of the pandemic because we get together here and have fun. Nancy said she's so thankful for this group and our friendship. She feels like she knows you all in person. And she said, thank you. Said, I have saved her during the pandemic. And that's the one thing, these friendships that have come out, whether they're in-person friendships, and there have been some in-person friendships that have formed out of our Saturday sessions, but then lots of kind of on-screen friendships. As I'm talking, I know you guys are chatting, catching up, asking how people are doing. Carmen, I think I saw that you were here. I hope your procedure went well this week and that you're feeling okay. Julie said pandemic silver lining is your listing. Yes, very much. And Julie was one of the winners this morning. So we'll talk about that in a second. Okay, you guys, once I rotate the camera and we start listing, I will, I'll be able to pay a lot more attention to the chat. So it's just when I'm talking like this, I can't see it very well. Anyhow, chat, great place for questions as we're going or comments or anything like that. If I miss your question, go ahead and put it in uppercase because it makes it a little bit easier for me to see as I kind of glance at the chat. But those folks that are here are also super, super, super helpful. And if somebody knows the answer to the question because I don't see it, or maybe it's not a real opportune time for me to answer it because I'll get totally sidetracked, which is what I do, squirrel, right? But other people here are great for answering those questions. Thumbs up. If you're watching, please give the video a thumbs up. That's one of the best, easiest ways that you can give anyone that you're watching on social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of the things, YouTube, but just giving a thumbs up and interacting is always just a really easy thing that you can do and super important. So with all that said, we have a couple of things to talk about and then we'll rotate the camera. We are knee deep right now. And when I say knee, when I say knee, I mean we are knee deep. There are 2 other people that are helping me with the idea book. There is a Traveler's Notebook idea book coming out. I will have it ready for release the first weekend in May, which coincides with International Scrapbook Day. But That is a huge undertaking. It looks like it's going to be about 120 pages. So lots and lots and lots of lists over the last 3 years. So it'll be a great resource for you to kind of get ideas and things like that. As I was going through, one of the things I'm doing is I am rewatching every single one of these Saturday videos. And now I'm not watching them start to finish, but I'm watching them for 3 important pieces. When the first list starts the time, when the second list starts the time, when the third list starts the time. That idea book will have a link to every video. So here's our list, here's the video that it came from, and here is the minute mark on where that video started. So if you want to go back to be able to watch that, then you can. One thing that I've really noticed a pattern is it seems like it's about 30 minutes. I can't believe that. It's about 30 minutes before we actually get started listing. So I'm going to try to get better at that. It's just that lots of times at the beginning we have things to talk about, and then we always like to look at the list from the prior week. But just know, if you don't want to hang out for all this chit chat at the beginning, it's like we're all friends, and it's like we're all together in the same room. So if we hadn't seen each other for a week or 2 weeks, we'd spend a little bit of time catching up before we started working on something. So that's kind of what happens the first, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 minutes, but definite distinct pattern. There are lots of lists that start at minute 29. Anyhow, so I'm going to try to cut this little part short here, as I've just been rambling on for 11 minutes so far. Hey, I've got about, 18 more minutes. No, just kidding. I won't take that long. Let's talk about giveaways. So every time that we are together, I always do giveaways. And with the exception of kind of our all-day celebrations, the giveaways are always for anyone that's participating, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. Because I know not everyone can watch the replay, everyone live, right? Sometimes things get in the way. What you do to participate in the giveaway is just leave a comment on the video when it's over. So not in the chat, leave a comment on the video when it's over. And then the morning of our next listing session, then I sit down and I randomly pick comments, and those are the people that win the prizes. So we were together 2 weeks ago on, whatever the end of February was. We were together the end of February-ish. And I had 3 prizes, and I drew for those prizes this morning. So one of those people has already claimed their prize and emailed me, which is awesome. So I'll start with that one. And I think I saw her here. That's Julie Fallon. So Julie won the highlights, word strip highlights. Well, here, word strip highlights stamp set, which a little FYI about that one. I sent an email kind of spotlighting that one earlier this week, and they all sold out. Now, they are, they'll be back in stock. I think my shipment arrives this week. So if you were holding out for that one, well, Julie won it, but more of those are coming in this week. And Dandy, I love it. Dandy said that 30 minutes helps her get set up. And Joe said we love the chit chat. And Laura said we love the chatting. Okay, well, here's the deal. Now, if you don't want to be a part of the chat, you can just fast forward until, you can just see me start listing, and then you're good. Tracy said she used those word strip stamps all the time. They are the perfect size. Yes. You guys know me and my love for word strip stamps. I always say if it looks like something missing, the word strip is the answer. So that will be a first in the series. So congratulations, Julie. The next one, I swatched the new ink, the Lost Shadow, Tim's new ink. I swatched it using my Swatch This Ink stamp set. So I did that one as a prize as well. And that one goes to Pam Borden. So Pam, congratulations on winning those. The way that you know that you won a prize is that I reply to your comment on the video. So super easy. Those 2 for Pam. And then the third is for Nurse Jane 95. Nurse Jane 95 wins my Focus stamp set, which we used last time we were together. Okay, so those were the 3 prizes. I have 2 more prizes this week. And the following week, well, let's talk about the schedule. We will not be together next weekend on the 18th. We won't be together that Saturday. I will be out of town again. However, we will then make up for it on March 25th. We will have a huge all-day long listing session. So we'll be doing a couple of demos because I will be sharing with you that day my brand new stamp sets, 5 brand new stamp sets. One I will show you a little peek at today. if you were with me on Thursday night when we did What's New Wednesday, but Thursday this week, I showed the stamps, one of the stamp sets, so I'll show that one again. So stay tuned for those, and you'll be able to start ordering them then. I was going to have a special guest. She, good for her, will be at a retreat, spending some time enjoying some company of some other crafters. So she will not be with me as a special guest, tuning in virtually on the 25th. So I'll have her tune in with me virtually that following Wednesday when we do the next What's New Wednesday. You will want to meet her because she has hand-drawn all of my 5 stamp sets that are coming out. She has hand-drawn them all. You guys are going to fall in love with her. Her name is Christine, and she's just amazing. So I can't wait to share all of that with you then. Okay, let's say, oh, Jane is here. Yeah, is she here? I don't know. I can't tell. Rhonda said it's first time for her. She thinks catching live. She has brain fog, so not positive, but she's loving listening, and she's in Florida. We love to have you, Rhonda. I love to have all of you. So I have missed, I think, lots of things in the chat. I did just see Kathy said having some same problems with sleep, Layle. My mind won't shut off, and so if I wake up in the middle of the night, it's all over but the crying. And then I've learned over the years it's just best to go out of the bedroom and go sit on the couch and be on my phone or turn on the TV or something. Sometimes I can fall back asleep, sometimes I can't, but you know. Carmen said, Layle, did you get your package I sent you? Carmen, I have not been to the post office yet. This afternoon I'm going to the post office, so I will pick it up. But I will tell you, I was pulling a few things out of the last Happy Mail that you sent me, that challenge reading book, so I'll talk about that in a sec. Lisa said, so glad to be here today. Thanks for hosting these lists with Layle Saturdays. You are welcome. Oh, it wasn't to the P.O. box. Carmen, did you send it to my street address? Then I don't think so. So let's chat after. Okay, friends, let's do this. Let's go ahead. Ooh, one more thing. I probably should have looked at this before. I think we might be a little bit, whoa, that got really weird. That was weird. Did you see that? I was like techno color or something. All right. Vintage Scrap Girl said, my first live here in Sacramento, California. Loving it so far. Welcome, Vintage Scrap Girl. It is very nice to have you with us live. All right, friends, I am going to rotate. Yeah, that was so weird. I'm going to rotate the camera and we'll get started, okay? So let me rotate, and then we will rotate the camera, and then I will turn off the studio lights, and I will turn on the overhead lights. I will also turn on the fan because I brought that because I know I will need it, even though it's like minus 1,000 outside. It's freezing, lots of snow. Nick went skiing today. So I brought the fan because I know I'll get warm. Thank you, Colleen, for reminding me to plug in the phone. Kathy, I love it, said, I've been a Layle for a long time and so enjoy it. There we go, a Layle. I love it, a Layle. That's such a fun name. All right, similar to, turn the fan on, similar to Layler, which if you don't know, I've mentioned this here and there. My close friends and family over the years have coined that term when I start telling a story and it takes so long to tell that by the time the story's done, it's like, okay, what? That's a Layler. So Layler and Layleys. That's kind of fun. Joanne, I did get your email about the national parks. Will you do me a favor and will you just send it again? I saw that. I have it flagged, but if you send it again, I will answer that this afternoon. And that's just that's a quick kind of little tip, I guess. If you send me an email and I don't answer, please don't be shy. Email again. And I hate to say that, but sometimes if I'm traveling or like right now, we're so knee deep in working on that idea book. We have to get it to the printer in the next, kind of by the beginning of April. So it's all hands on deck. So sometimes I see it, the email, and then I think, oh, I'll respond to that. And then it doesn't happen. So it is not you, it is me. Wanda, do I still ski? I don't. I can. I mean, I grew up skiing, so I can ski really well. I just don't particularly love it anymore. It's a long time. It's a full day, right? It's a full day long. And I don't know anymore. It just seems like a lot of time. And I only like bluebird days. So I don't want it to be snowing. I don't want it to be cloudy. I want it to be nice and warm, but I want the snow to be good. And if it's nice and warm, a lot of times the snow isn't good. And yeah, I'm a fair weather skier. That is for sure. Deborah, I remember seeing your email as well too, Deborah. I think I was in Houston last week when that came in. I will look at that one as well. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and, well, why don't we just start out with this? I'll show you one of the new stamp sets. This new stamp set is called Listing with Layle. So this is, let me just pull this off. It'll be a little bit easier to see if I do this. This is the stamp set. It is a little bitty, so it's a little 3x4 with hand drawn by my friend Christine. And when I introduce all the stamps when we're together on the 25th, I will explain how all of this came about because it is a very fun story. So that is a little 3x4 stamp set. And then it has hand-drawn little hearts and stars. So this is an idea of how you might use it. This is actually the sample that I created for the packaging. So this could be an intro page to your traveler's notebook. And I used some flea market on that. So we'll be using a little bit of flea market in one of our lists today. And then just stamped all different kinds of things. And I used the new click art markers that I showed on Wednesday. So you'll see me use those little click art markers again on Saturday, or excuse me, on the 25th when I show the new stamps, because this is what the new stamps are designed for, is to be able to color in, right? Here's our plain Jane black stamp. And then you pull out your markers or your colored pencils or what have you, and then just start going to town doing all your fun little coloring. So that is one of the new stamp sets that you will see coming on the 25th. Nancy said that's a great idea for starting a new TN. I am working on a number of different stamps that you guys will see in the next probably maybe 4 months. More ideas for you on how to start one of your traveler's notebook inserts. Now, this doesn't just have to be for that. That's just kind of a fun little stamp that has a fun story behind it. And that's when I was just demoing it the other day, just kind of coloring in little stamp. All right, so, maybe what we should do today, should we just, because I have my production samples of these. Should we give away one of these today? How about that? I'll add that to, I will add that, we'll make that our third giveaway for today. So, listing with Layle, you can't buy those yet. You will be able to starting on the 24th, the evening of the 24th. So that will be one of our 3 giveaways. So giveaways, the way you participate in the giveaways, I will have you leave a comment, not in the chat, on the video itself. Once it is over, leave a comment telling me, I'm going to tie this in, what one of your favorite acronyms is. So, like LOL or GOAT or TTFN or ETA. We'll talk a lot more about acronyms in our last list that we do. Trudy, I do ship to Australia. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Shirley. Yay, big Cheryl. Shirley said, love the new stamp from my friend Christine. I will be with her on the 25th and miss the all day. And Shirley, I will miss you on the all day. But I'm very excited that you will be with Christine that day because you guys will have a ball. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a quick look at our lists from last time we were together, 2 weeks ago. So we did 1, 2, 4. We did 4 last time. Judith, hi Judith K. Judith said, Layle, bring your stuff to the east side of the states, please. I'd have to come to the east side of the states, wouldn't I? Wouldn't I? I know, I don't make it out back east very often. I really don't anymore. Joe Disney fan, I like that. Joe Disney fan, I gotta read that, said, for your 5-year anniversary, you should plan a live get-together listing scrapping party so we can come to the party, like an in-person. That could be fun. I will keep that in the back of my head. That could be kind of fun. All right, so we did 4 lists last time. Oh my gosh, last time was almost an all-dayer. We were together like 5 hours. I just couldn't stop. So one of our lists, this is something that we do this type of list once a month. It's called Today Looks Like This. And that is a pad that is from Everyday Explorers, that Today Looks Like This. And those I have on my website, but that's been a really fun, it's just kind of a quick snapshot, one day every month on kind of what the day looks like. And it's just a list, like what did I do that day? So that was our first one, and we used the Paige Evans Garden Shop collection for that list. The little chipboard numbers, I use the same chipboard numbers every time, and then that month die cut, and I use the same month die cut every time. Those are the 2023 month die cuts, and those are the Cocoa chipboard numbers. Our second list was in the news for January. So every month we also do an in the news style list, where I am just making a run-on list of different things that happened in the news. I used the in the news stamp set. We kind of played around a little bit with some different colors. I stamped in I want to say that's Victorian velvet, which I don't use very often. It's kind of more of a, I don't know, like a rosy color maybe. And then I colored that typewriter in with a colored pencil, a Tattered Rose, one of the Tim Holtz, the watercolor pencils. So I just colored it in with the Tattered Rose pencil. And then I stamped January over the top. So that's in the news for January. And then I just printed out some black and white photos that I just snagged from Google. All right, then this one. Okay. Right. Tracy said the black and white photos look much better. So generally, I do color photos for my in the news. It's just what I found, that my in the news photos tend to always have a lot of color in them, right? And it makes it a little bit hard, I had color photos planned. I had color photos printed out. And then when I used that product and those colors, it just looked horrible. Like imagine that with that. So I just turned them black and white, and then I made it work for whatever I wanted it to work with. Wanda said a lot of celebrities died in January. I want to do a page. How would you title it? You know what? I will defer. I am going to defer that to the folks that are in the live chat. You guys, how would you do that? How would you title a page if you wanted to? If Wanda wants to do a list about celebrities that have died, have passed on. So throw the ideas out. Linda May said, I love that camera page. So this, remembering, rest in peace, missing you. Great. There's some good ones coming through. This one, this is let's see, where is my focus list? We're almost there, There we go. Things I am focusing on in 2023. So this is my version of resolutions, although I don't like resolutions. They just don't ever work for me. So very loosely, things that I am focusing on in 2023. What I decided I would do a little bit differently this year to help hold myself accountable was that I will be listing about these throughout the year on how I am managing, on how I'm keeping up with them. So that's what this list was. This focus list, using that same focus stamp set, is focusing on one of the items on my list that I'm focusing on for the year, date nights. Nick and I have been married for 28 years in May. And so we are kind of really trying to focus on just spending more time together and spending like different time together. Okay. So one of those is date nights. So this list was listing 1, 2, 3, how we were faring in focusing on doing that, making specific dates, going on specific dates every other week. So I used Life in Bloom. This collection, you guys, the Simple Stories Life in Bloom just went crazy. It sold out. Simple Stories has sold out of almost everything in the collection. I had sold out. I was able to track down a few more pieces from the distributor that I work with. So what is on my website now is it. That's all I will be able to get. So that was from the paper pad. I used my focus stamp. I used the numbers from the focus stamp, and then used some rub-ons and things for that list. So that was super fun. Then our next list was currently loving. So instead of my currently stamp has a bunch of different prompts on it. So it has prompts for many things. Currently watching, listening, reading, learning, thinking, hoping, wishing, blah, 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 blah. So you can use this stamp where you do a currently and then you just stamp a bunch of the prompts and then fill them out. Or you can do what I did, this list. I focused on just one of them, things that I am currently loving, and used the 49 and Market Rouge collection. And then Andy K. Arts List It Love stamp set. So we had lots of fun last week doing 4 different lists, which is now going to take us into our lists for this week. Oh, there we go. Look at 30 minutes in. Isn't that funny? 30 minutes in. So it's like I said, it's usually right about there. Right about there. And I know that now. All right. So for our first list, we are going to do About Last Month for the month of February. About Last Month is a list that I do on repeat. I do it the month after a month takes place. So usually if we are together the first weekend of a new month, I will do my About Last Month for the prior month. So I will be doing February, since we were not together for the first weekend of March. So just a quick recap. If you are not familiar with my About Last Month lists, basically what I do, I pick a format for the full year and I pretty much do the same thing for the entire year. I'm using my 2023 About Last Month stamp set, so that helps to make it super easy because I'm always using the same stamp set. My design is always the same. So I have my run-on list over on the left, and I do some kind of photo over on the right. Makes it super easy way to very quickly just document kind of what happened the prior month. So that is what we are going to do. One thing I want to show very quickly, and this will dovetail into our first giveaway for today, is the About Last Month project kit for 2023. So that's what this is. I know many of you have done this with me, or doing this with me for the current year. So what I thought I would be fun to do, I'm actually doing 2 versions of this list, and I know that will sound kind of weird, but I heard from enough of you that you want to see how I continue to do my list throughout the year using this format. So this was the January one. No, the January one, because I have 2, the sample, and then that was the January one, but I stole the photo for my other January. Anyhow, you saw that. But the February one, this is how the February list turned out if you were doing the 2023 year in review project kit with me. So I added my photo and then just filled everything out based on how we had designed it as part of that kit. One more thing I want to show you. Those of you that do the bi-monthly Traveler's Notebook kits with me, look what I did. This was the slip cover of one of the inserts for that month. So I cut up the slip cover and just put it right here. This is now the in-between page. So here's February, and then I pulled stuff from that, leftovers, once I moved into March, and here you go. So I will be doing that on my in-between pages every month. I'll be pulling apart the leftovers from that and putting it here. So that's kind of fun. Oh my goodness. Carmen said last month she got to see the Sugar Hill Gang. The Sugar Hill Gang is Rapper's Delight. That is one of my favorite songs. When I was in 8th grade, I memorized all the words, and scarily enough, I still know probably 85% of that song. So much so that when I was teaching at a virtual Crop and Create event last year with about 2,000 people, I put a saucepan on my head and sang that rap song. It was quite amusing. But yes, that's good. Hi, Tammy Higgins. Nice to see you. Hi, Jen's Happy Place. Nice to see you. All right, guys. So we have About Last Month. I might as well tell you this too. I will be, as long as they last, every month when we are doing the year in review, or excuse me, our About Last Month, I'm going to give one of these away. This is the 2023 Year in Review Project Kit, okay? That's the whole kit, the stamp set and everything. So, again, how you participate in the giveaways, you leave a comment on the video when it's over. Alrighty, so I've already printed my photos. Hi, Diane Keddy. I've already printed my photos. Different format than I did last month. One of the things I decided might be kind of fun to do for 2023 would be to mix up a little bit how I do my right side of the page. So left side will always be the same. Right side will change a little bit. So I have a different format here. Photo. That is a 5x7 photo that I printed off of the Epson PictureMate PM400 printer. That is one of the things you will see linked in the description box of the video. I use that unless I'm printing a larger photo, like larger than 5x7. That's the printer that I use on pretty much everything I print. It's a pretty handy dandy little printer. I created that layout using the app. There's a free app that Epson does called the Epson Creative Print app, and they just have pre-configured templates like that, just pre-considered templates. So that is a pre-configured template, and I just pulled that up and said those are the photos that I want to print, and then printed that off as one photo in a 5x7. Let's see. Tracy's Treasure said, yes, I did sing. She was there virtually to see it. The all-day event is the 25th. Yes. All right. So we start here. I am going to put this over here somewhere, but for this list, oh, hang on a moment. I forgot to get, it's going to be behind me, so hang tight. I have a product, oh, there we go. I am going to use products from the Simple Stories Heart Eyes collection. So I have pulled out the 12x12 stickers for that. And then I also have a sticker book and some other things, die cuts and things like that. So there is let's see what's in this sticker book too. I really love this. I love this little sticker. This little love kind of flag. And I thought that might be kind of fun to use. Now, this is the sticker book. This is the 12x12 sticker sheet. So I have the same flag there. One is just larger than the other, larger scale. So if I can either put it over here or over here. The reason I'm starting with this now is if I'm going to put it over here, I need to do it as part of adding the photo. So let's just see. Let me just pull this off. So if I'm putting it over here, well, I don't know, in either place, I probably want it to be the smaller one. So let's see. The 12x12 stickers, sometimes I bring in the 12x12 stickers. The 12x12 stickers, I don't know, this could kind of go right there. All right, I'm not going to put that there. The reason why I'm not going to put that there is I'll be putting the title here, and that's just a lot of words all the way across. So what if we just come down and put this right here? That will be nice. All right. So now I don't have to worry about, I was kind of worried about where this might need to sit. So I know I'm not worried about that. I can go ahead and adhere this one. So the whole concept, like I was saying earlier, about last month is to document just kind of whatever happened. And some people, you'll tell me, oh my gosh, I could never do that. Nothing happens in my life. Well, it could be things about going to work. It could be things about shows that you watched on TV. It could be things about books that you read. I mean, really, it doesn't have to be the big things. And that's kind of the whole point, is it can serve as a little bit of a time capsule. And I think it's fun to time capsule all the things. Sorry, just playing with the lights there. Not just time capsule the big things that happened. So, like it snowed. We got 22 inches in 24 hours. So I took a picture and documented that. Let's see. Autumn, can we purchase the clickable markers yet? Yes, you can. There are 3 sets on my website. Yes, because you'll see me use those. Once those new stamp sets come in, you'll see me use those quite a bit. All right, so now what we need to do is we need to grab, and I'll add some more things as we get going. I need to grab the About Last Month stamp set for 2023. So there it is. It has all 12 months, and you have an abbreviation for each month with an underline, and I'll show you why, because you're adding something below that. Or in a few cases, you may be adding above. It depends on the stamp set. Or the stamp, excuse me. Alrighty. That's interesting. Where is the one I've used a whole bunch? I don't know. I was looking for the one that I've used a whole bunch. Oh, there we go. There we go. I want to use that one because these have already been primed because I've used them. These, looks like I have a mixture of some I've used and some I haven't used. Whatever. All right, so I need to pick some colors. Let's pick some colors. I am going to use at least two colors. So let me grab that February. Let me grab About Last Month, another stamp. And then I will also grab the little 2023. So when we look at how I did that for this version, I think that was Barn Door, and then I think I used probably Tattered Rose. So I used three different colors, the black, the Barn Door, and then the Tattered Rose. I think I would like to use three colors here, but I'll probably pick up just some of the colors in that. So I'll look at my swatches. Spun Sugar could be fun. Saltwater Taffy, not really there. Kitsch Flamingo. Kitsch Flamingo or Picked Raspberry. Those two could be fun together, right? Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do those two together, and then do black for the year. So Kitsch Flamingo and Picked Raspberry. Those are swatches that I have created for all of my inks, all of my distress inks that I use. Kitsch Flamingo and what else did I say? Did I say Picked Raspberry? Kitsch Flamingo and Picked Raspberry? Kitsch Flamingo, Picked Raspberry, Kitsch Flamingo. Where's Picked Raspberry? Hang on. Where are you, Picked Raspberry? That's so weird. That makes no sense. Oh, it's not put away where it belongs. That's why. If you put things away where they belong, it makes life a lot easier, doesn't it? All right, so I will do the February in Kitsch Flamingo. So let's get out a couple of things for stamping. I know we'll need the black. I think I'm going to use this one, this stamping block, and I have an assortment of different stamping blocks on my website. I'll use that one. And then I will use that little guy. And then I will use this little teeny one. All right. When you are building something like that, so let me go back and show you this guy. If you are stamping in three different colors like I did there, then you will want to set up either three separate stamping blocks or one stamping block and stamp each one individually with each individual color. Yes, color. So that's what I'm going to do. Do those individually with each color. So we will be doing that here. I also need to pull out a pencil board. So a pencil board is a fancy name for something that you can slide under something in order to stamp on it or to write on it. Pencil boards can be a really important tool in your traveler's notebooks when you're stamping, because when you have so much that has gone on, let me just put this away. When you've had so much that's gone on a page before it, in this case, or in a whole book before it, I have all of this stuff that's happened before. And all of those things could potentially impact my final result, could impact my stamped impression. For example, if I'm stamping here, I may get a little bit of an uneven stamp because of what is over here, right? If it catches, it can feel the difference between that piece that is then adhered to this piece. So it may make a little weird break in my stamped impression. So putting a pencil board, something flat underneath, and then stamping on that sets you up for success. These pencil boards I have on my website. This is one that Nancy Golison made for me. That is just a thick piece of chipboard that she covered. So it doesn't have to be something like that, but it is a good idea to have a pencil board in your kind of arsenal. Some kind of pencil board if you are stamping in a traveler's notebook, because you can't take the page out when you're stamping directly on the page. All right, so let's get out my little stamping notebook, my little tester. There we go. I want to do February in the Kitsch Flamingo. So, oh, look at that fun stuff. New washi. That's new washi that we looked at from Thursday on the What's New Wednesday, but it was Thursday this week. All right, so I am just inking that up, and I always want to test it first. Always, always, always want to test it first. I want to test to make sure I like the color. I want to test to make sure that there's no dirt or lint or something like that in on the stamp. So testing first, always a really good idea. There we go. I like it. Looks good. Nice solid impression. I had already primed that, so I wasn't worried about, making sure that it had, that it was ready for stamping. All right, so let's move this little guy out of the way for a second and come back here. I'm going to go back and look at January. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like I put the bottom line of the stamp 5 lines down, just so I have a little bit of consistency. Let's put this here. And I need to re-ink again. Let's do this. Let's just make a quick little mark. Whoopsie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll just go right there so I can see easily that that's where that is. All right, let's re-ink this guy. Get it nice and inked up again. Okay, and then we are going to stamp. I'm going to pull this just a little bit towards me so I can see. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I was silly here. I did something not very good. I am going to try. I moved the pencil board down. I moved the pencil board down. So it was partially, it was like below that crosshair, the cross line on the February. Oh, so that was going to start out really weird. Let's hope that that worked out okay. That's why it did that. So let me show you what I did. When I started out, that was down too low. So I just lost part of my color. There are a couple things I can do when that happens. Number one, I could just leave it as is. I could try to stamp over it again, but I would not recommend that unless you're going for a shadowed look, because chances of being able to hit that in the exact right spot again are probably, at least for me, slim to none. I can, where did they go? Let me grab one of these and grab one of these. I'm going to pull out 3 different things that I might use to fix that. It'll be a learning opportunity for us. Have no idea on this one. Let's see. Maybe we'll try this little guy. Okay, and then that is, oops, let's put the lid back on. That is Kitsch Flamingo. So let me see one more thing here and see if I have Kitsch Flamingo. All right, so I have 3 different things that I may use here to try to fix that. Number 1, these are the Distress watercolor pencils. And there just so happens to be a Kitsch Flamingo color. So what I can try to do, if I want, is try to color that in. Okay, I could just color that in with the pencil. And it works a little bit, but it's still pretty light, so that's not going to do it. I won't now use watercolor with that because generally I don't use water in my traveler's notebook. So that one, Kitsch Flamingo. Okay, next up, I am going to take a little bit of ink onto a Q-tip. All right, so that's just a Q-tip. I'm going to take a little bit of ink on there, and I can, oh golly, that was almost really bad. That is picked raspberry. That is not what I used. Let's see here. How can I pull this up? Let me see if I have another Q-tip in here. Oh, I do. See? Okay, get rid of that. So I just usually break them in half, and then I've got one for different colors. Kitsch Flamingo. That looked a little bright. So I can take that, get a little bit of ink on that Q-tip, and try to paint that in. And that works pretty darn well, painting that in, all right? I purposefully left a little space because this is what one of you, I don't remember who it was, brought this up as a suggestion or a recommendation, would be then to take a very fine, so it's super fine paintbrush, not wet it, but just get some of that ink on that paintbrush and then paint it in. So, that may be a little bit too fine. Actually, it's cleaned up the rest of that pretty well. That definitely gives me the most control, a really fine paintbrush like that. Now, what this person recommended, and she just brought it up one day on the live, that you don't want to use like a paintbrush that you'd find at the dollar store. It's just not going to be fine enough for you. You want to use a nicer paintbrush. So look at that. That basically you would never even know. You would never be able to tell that I had a little boo-boo when I stamped. The whole reason I had that boo-boo was because I had my pencil board, it was underneath part of where I was stamping and then not on the upper part at all. So that you just want to make sure that you clean off. If I was, here we go. If I wasn't live right now, I'd just, go and rinse that off. But because I am live, I'm not going to do that. I will just use a baby wipe. Just use the baby wipe. Yeah, that's I love that tip. Whoever told me that, whoever shared that, that was an awesome tip. All right, so there we go. And we're fixed. While I have the baby wipe out, I will now clean off the stamp set because you want to clean those off right away. Clean them off right away. You can use a stamp chamois. Oh, that reminds me, my friend Amy made me a really cool stamp chamois. I haven't unpacked from that trip yet. I got back Monday night, have not unpacked. That's just that's the life of a small business owner. Okay, or at least me. All right, so there we go. There is the start of that. Now I would like to do the About Last Month part. So About Last Month, I put underneath that little line, and that we decided we wanted to use picked raspberry. Now, before I stamp on this, I can come back here. And this is another reason why your test stamping is kind of a good idea. Because if you already have the first stamp here, you can now see if you like what that looks like underneath it. All right, just it's subtle, right? It's just a little bit darker, but not much. So that's what we're going with. That is what we are going with. Unless, okay, now I may change my mind because, that's my prerogative. I can do that. What I may decide I want to do, maybe I want to bring in a little bit of red because red there, but look, there's red there and there's red there. So maybe I should bring in a little bit of red. If I were to bring in red, let's see what red we might want to bring in. This is again where your swatches really come in handy because I don't have to grab out all the little lids, and then I get a better representation of, I think I like candied apple. Even though we're a little bit darker over here, I don't want to go too dark on there. That crackling campfire is a little orangey. Festive berries. Oh, I don't know. Maybe let's go festive berries. I think I like that. So let's clean this guy off. Let's get Kitsch Flamingo. Sorry, Picked Raspberry. You're out. But I think we're going to like festive berries. Reds are interesting because you get, I think red's a hard one. Red's a hard color because you either have a blue tone to it or I don't know what other kind of tone to it that you have, but either looks a little bit bluer or a little bit redder, a little bit pinker. All right, festive berries. Let's take a look at festive berries. Did you see how I just flipped that? I prefer to ink the stamp as opposed to stamp the ink. I think it just gives you a lot more control. That is my preference. So I'm going to test it again. Let's do it. I think festive berries is going to be good. So now let's get this in place so I don't cause myself a problem again. And get that guy all nice and inked up. There are 2 stamps. Ooh, yikes. I'm not sure what I did there. Oh, I got ink. I've got ink everywhere. Somehow I got ink on the back of that stamping block. That's where your little wipey will come in handy. Oh, I don't even know what I was saying now. I'm not even sure where I was. Oh, I know. There are 2 different stamps that you could use in this place. One is about last month. The other one is called Month in Review. So that stamp set, this 2023 About Last Month stamp set, has 2 options. One has About Last Month and one has Month in Review. Well, same stamp set. There's just 2 stamps on it. Okay, there we go. About Last Month. And now we'll clean that one off and then I'll come in with the 2023. So that's what we're looking like so far. And that Feb, that F that we messed up, you'll never know. All right, so now, oopsie, let's go to 2023. I should also probably make sure I do not have any red on my hands anywhere. Okay, let's put this guy back. Oh, whoopsie, oopsies. Just dropped a whole big stack of things that I will need to pick up for one of our lists. All right, now 2023. Ooh, let's put that in the right place. I just threw that on there. We'll come over here again. And that is what that space is for. There's your little 2023. And that will be nice because then I'll pull in like the black from my writing and things. So we'll add just a little bit of black there. And this will go right here. $20.23. Alrighty, so let's put this guy away for now and keep on going. See? Clean this one off. Good morning, Bernice. Good morning, good morning. All right, so now I'm ready to do a little bit of decorating and then listing. So that stamp set is 2023 About Last Month. And that is the stamp set that I will be using all year for my About Last Month layouts or lists. And then I've just put that into a 6x8 stamp slate. or storage. Okay, now we can get this out of here. I'm just trying to pick up some things as we go. It will make it a lot cleaner up here. Makes it a little bit easier for me to work if things are clean. And then we'll just throw that in there. When I'm looking for something again, then I know where to find it. Isn't that funny how that works? Okay. Now we will outline with our black Sharpie. Where did that go? Hi, Nikki Ringelman from Nebraska. Where did my black, oh, here it is, black Sharpie. All right, so now I'll do my little outlining. Oh my goodness, we are almost to the very end of this insert. It's almost time to start a new insert, which means once I am done with this insert, I will recover it. Because when you get this far along, it starts to fall apart. The reason it starts to fall apart is the little staples just can't hold everything because there's so much other stuff we put in here. So I won't do that live, but there is a video here on my YouTube channel where I walk you through that entire process and I show you what I do when I recover and the tool that I use or tools that I use to recover. All right, so there we go. There is the start. Now we need some more decorating. How about if let's go back. Let's go here. The 6x12 sticker. That heart is kind of fun. One of these little floral clusters might be fun. So if we were to do something like this and then this, I think that could work. Like that. And then we need a little something to go there. We could use this little sticker that says, "Hey cutie." That might be fun to go right here. "Hey cutie." Like that. So see how I just used a word strip sticker? I told you, word strips, whether it's a word strip sticker or word strip stamp, I had that kind of just weird spot and it looked funny. When in doubt, word strip sticker. I'm telling you, that's what you need when in doubt. All right, let's see what else we might use off of here. There's just such fun things. Maybe another word strip sticker. Or hold on, let's look at, where's the washi? Where is the washi? So as I'm working, the products that I am using, I have linked in the description box of the video. So you can see what I'm using and then buy it if you want. I like that one, that XOXO. I'm thinking maybe, this might be a lot of color though. We'll see, that might be a little bit too much. That might be a little bit too much. Might be a little bit too big here. Let's see. Hi, Denise. Wanda, that is a collection from Simple Stories. This is a Simple Stories collection that I am using. So it would not go on sale at Echo Park. Yeah, why not? I'll make it work. I will make it work. Like that, and I'll just rip some of this off. I would like to try to tuck that under the sticker. I'm just using my little tool there to try to lift that up. Eek. Actually, I think I can come back up. There we go. Usually I usually put washi down first and then put the things on, but I didn't do that. Denise, I showed, look what I did. I'll just show you really quick. So there's my February in this one. And then look what I put in the middle of it from the bi-monthly kit. All right, so then maybe we just put a little bit of this in here just to give us a little bit more color Well, it's not really color, it's black, but that's okay. That will kind of now tie in a lot of the black that I will do. Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Eek. Rip a little bit of this off. And then pop this underneath. Like that. All right, there we go. So there's the start. Now it's time to list. Okay, now it is time to list. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy had a good reminder. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Hi, Linda Schnitzen from Minnesota. Okay, so I'm ready to start my list, and then I will add a few things in between, although I could do, whoops, XOXO like that. Oh yeah, let's do that right there. That's a good spot for that. That little XOXO right up there at the top. Okay, now we're ready for our list. I need some bullet stamps. So, bullet stamps, I need to have, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do one more giveaway. And we're going to do the Heart Eyes Extras. What I mean by that, all of the Heart Eyes products, all of the stuff, all of these that I have left, when I'm done with this list, I'll put it all together in a little bag and send it to the winner. So there's lots of things in the sticker book I haven't used, on the 12 by 12 sticker sheet, the washi, just a little bits used. So that will make that one more prize today. There's 4 prizes now. Let's see. Colleen asked, what size are my swatch cards? My little swatches, those are 3 by 3. 3 by 3. Hi, Leslie Millar, maybe. Leslie said, I am new here, only found the COVID ones a few weeks ago, watched all of them. I've been using TNs a few years, but only undecorated as a planner. But I'm a craftaholic, LOL. Oh, I'm from the Wales in UK. Well, so nice to have you, Leslie. Welcome, welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and get our listing on. I need a bullet stamp. Okay, I need a bullet stamp. So I am pulling out Bullets and More 2. So these are my Bullets and More 2 stamp sets, List Builder, Bullets and More 2. I will do, there are a couple of different hearts up there. So I think I will do the solid heart. We'll do the solid heart. I will grab the stylus. So this is one of my products, stylus. This is designed to put your little bitty stamps on the end. It's like a stamping block for your little bitty stamps. That is 6 inches long. It's about the circumference of a standard pen, a pen that your hand is very comfortable with holding. It knows that feel and it knows the length. So it becomes very easy. What do I want to use? I think I will use that one. And that one was the Kitsch Flamingo, right? I believe that was, no, it was Picked Raspberry. Picked Raspberry. Oh, golly, hang on. Hang on. Which one was it? What did I do with it? Hold on, friends. I don't think that was it. What did I do? I put it away. Hold on. This is where I need my Vanna. I need a Vanna. Okay, clearly I did not put it away because it is not there. All right, friends, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I have no idea what I did with that color. Where did it go? All right, let me just check and see if we can make that one work. I don't think that's the color I used, however, so it will probably bug me. Let's look. Let's look. That's where usually you guys are like, oh yeah, it's right there. Lift up that or look over there. See, look at, now we'll put it here and see. Is that the same one? Well, guess what? It's darn close. I don't think we will notice if it's not the same color. Oh, but look at how easy. There's my little stamps. Look how easy that is to make my little heart stamps over and over and over. So I will use those as bullets, little separators between things on my list. And I'm going to get this back out again because I think I will sprinkle a couple of little things in between my list. All right, so I have ahead of time is the stylus supposed to be smooth? So smooth-ish. I mean, it is cut. It's cut from a piece of acrylic. So it, I don't know how to answer that. Smooth-ish. So Rhonda, was that you that emailed me about that? I don't know if you got my reply back, but I asked you to take a picture of the end so I can see. Because it's not entirely smooth because it's been cut. So if that was you, send me a picture and then we can go from there. All right, so here we go. I should probably get out my pencil board again. All right, re-ink. And here we go. So I use my workbook, my Listing with Layle workbook. That's how I plan our days, but that's how I also have all of my list information together. I know what I want it to look like. I know what's on my list. So that's what I use as we go. So Nick and I were in, let's see, we were in Maui and Waikiki for Nick. Nick's my husband. Nick's annual business trip. That is always a very fun perk. We went to Super Bowl party. At our friend's house. So it's just kind of a run-on of whatever happened. It's a run-on of whatever happened, whatever I decide I want to list. Whatever I want to list about. Oh, goodness. New Rustica doors arrived for my craft room, and Nick installed them, and I heart them. And I heart them. That is this photo. That is the photo. So this is where I am right now, like in here. That is looking out of my craft room into kind of our entryway. So they are steel doors. They're black steel with the glass. Oh my goodness. I have been coveting those for quite a while, and we custom ordered them. There's a company here in Utah that hand makes everything here. And they were delivered and Nick installed them. And oh my goodness, I am just in love with them. Now, they're see-through, right? Glass. So that is interesting because then my room has to be clean all the time, which it rarely is. We had a big snowstorm with 22 inches in 24 hours. So that's what that is, that photo. Looking into our backyard, 22 inches in 24 hours. That was a lot. That was a lot. Nick, oh yeah. Sam and T, so Sam is our younger son. T was his girlfriend. Sam and T broke up. So they'd been dating 16 months and decided that it was time to part ways. So that was a rough one. Nick had a business trip in Tucson, TUS, I think, TUSCON. Then Nick, so it's not all about me, right? It's people in my life. Nick had a sore toe and was diagnosed with gout that runs in his family. So there we go. They say certain foods. Well, we think this is what it was. It runs in his family, so it's hereditary, and it can be brought on. He's never had it before. It can be brought on by eating lots of shellfish and drinking lots of alcohol. And hello, we were in Hawaii for 9 days, so shellfish and alcohol may have been what did it. Who knows, but it's good now. All right, so the next up on my list is, oh, yes. I taught at the 3 Craft Chicks Magical Adventure Retreat in Spokane. That is what that photo is from. That was so much fun. Oh yes, Nick sent me conversation heart cookies from Coco and Olive in this nice little wooden box. It was very neat, very cute. That's those little, there it is. There's the little box of the conversation heart cookies. Colleen says, yes, in Toronto, they've been getting hit with the snowstorms too. And Dawn said her hubby has it. It's very painful. Yes, Nick said it was very painful. He said it was not very pleasant. So actually, I'm going to swap something out here. Now that I look at this, that heart is a little bit too hard to notice because it's pink like the other hearts. I think I might put that one right there. There we go. And then maybe I should put another one here since I have a little bit more space there. And then I'll put another one down here somewhere. All right. Oh yes, Nick installed we had a big argument with Vivint, who had our doorbell and our home security system and all that. And so that is no longer in place. So Nick installed, Nick's very handy, a Ring security system. So that's nice now. So don't try to come break into my house. Let's see what else we have here. So Nick and I did a date night with a recipe book. I talked about that one a little bit when we were together last, and I was doing my kind of focus update about our date nights. There's this book that we bought for Christmas called the Couples Adventure Challenge, and they are scratch-offs. They're scratch-off dates. So they give you a little bit of information about it ahead of time, and then the agreement is once you scratch it off, you have to do it. That's the agreement. That's what they suggest. That's the agreement we have. So this one that we did, say go to a bookstore, buy a recipe book, and you could go to you could not buy it and just borrow it for a second, or I don't know, go to the library or whatever, but go to bookstore, buy a recipe book, and then ask a stranger to pick a recipe out of that book, and then that's what you're making. So that's what we did. We date night with a recipe book. That was a lot of fun. We did dinner with some friends. At a restaurant here called Stone Ground Kitchen. That was very good. In downtown Salt Lake. And I just have a few more things, right? I don't know. Whoopsie. That little heart's kind of on its side, isn't it? Before I put that there, I want to add one more heart in here before I run out of room, or before I forget. So I'll put just this maybe little heart, maybe like right in here. Let's try right there. So this one, we did Nick's work, Valentine's party. His boss decided to throw a Valentine's party for some of the employees. So that was quite fun. Then I have 2 more things. So I taught my Winter Wonders and Everyday Life classes. Okay, there we go. That is done. There is my list for about last month, and it's done. It is in the books. So super easy. Same format pretty much all the time. Makes it really easy just to get the information down and documented, and then you move on, right? Then you move on. Okay, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm thinking that I'm going to take this little, I am going to take this little I Love Us and bring it in right here. Oh, by the way, that's the copy of the recipe that we made. That way I kind of bring in a little bit more. I've got this minty color over here, and then I kind of bring the little minty color over there. And the I Love Us, look, that could be Nick and I, but that could also be the people here that I was with at the 3 Craft Chicks retreat. So an I Love Us doesn't have to be like a lovey thing, right? All right, there we go. Done, done, done. So when I'm done today, I will pack up all of that Heart Eyes product that I have left over, and one lucky winner will win that. I decided a couple weeks ago that I'm going to start doing that because it's all still totally good product, and I don't come anywhere near close to using it all. But for me, once a collection is done, it's done, and then I move on to something different. So figure I might as well share that. Share the love. Share the love. Okay, so, I need to clean this off and then put that stamp away. Biggest advice with these little stamps, the little bullet stamps, put them away right away or you will lose them. They're so small. Here's another thing, and I think it was Rhonda. Was it Rhonda asking about if the bottom is smooth? If your stamp is having a hard time sticking to the end, you may have some dirt or lint or like little fuzz or something on the back of the stamp. So clean that off either with a kind of damp cloth or damp paper towel or a baby wipe, and then that will help it to stick. And that is the case for any of your stamping blocks and any of your stamps, not just your little ones. That just sometimes they get, a buildup on the back of them and then they won't stick. Okay, we are ready for our second list. Our second list is acronyms. So this came up, can't remember if this came up in a class or if this came up on one of our Saturday sessions, but somehow we started talking about acronyms and somebody said, oh my gosh, that would be such a fun list. And I thought, oh my gosh, yes, that will be such a fun list. So that is what we're going to do. Acronym, if you don't know what an acronym is, you do, you just don't know that's what it's called. That is an abbreviation. So for example, LOL. LOL could either mean laugh out loud or it can mean lots of love. That is an acronym. LOL is an acronym. So there's all kinds of acronyms that come up, that have come up, I think, even more so with texting and with social media. So I thought this would be a really fun list to just document some acronyms that you use. If we had done a list like this 25 years ago, we would have been like, what? What the heck is that? What even is that? What does BRB mean? Like, be right back. Or what does GOAT mean? Greatest of all time. So this is another one of those kind of time capsule lists that it's very specific to kind of the place and time we are right now in our culture and with technology, right? Because people are communicating via a screen sometimes. and I don't have time or space. Like if it's Twitter, you only have so many characters. Don't have time or space to write things out. So that is what we're going to do. Our second list is acronyms. Oopsie. And I am going to use, flea market. Flea market. Where are you, flea market? That's wildflower. Hang on. Here we go. Flea market. Look at Denise, I love it. Denise said she's got her 2 months done in her year in review and she's staying diligent. Very good, I'm proud of you. Wanda said she's usually good at keeping up. But last year she was in the hospital a lot and it's hard getting back in the groove. Wanda, yes, I can understand that. I understand that. That's hard. That is hard, especially if you like lose your mojo and you're like, whoa, I just don't have it in you. So try to get it back. Try to get your groove back. I don't know if you're just not doing that one or you're not doing any listing at all. If you're not doing any listing at all, this could be a really easy one because you really don't have to think much. You're just acronyms, right? They're just acronyms. Okay, so 2-page list. I am using flea market. I thought flea market would kind of be a fun collection to use here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to make this list be off the page. So I'm going to build the entire list, 2 pages on here. And then once my lists are done, I will adhere them into my insert. That, when I usually get this late in an insert, it starts getting a little hard to work with just because what's happening over here. Now I can get a big clip and hold this down and then it will help kind of lay flat, but a lot of times I just do off the page. That's what I'm going to do. So let's look at the 6x8 pad. I will use 2 pieces of pattern paper as my background. Uh, 6x8 pad, so yes, it is getting chunky, Denise, absolutely chunky. Chunky monkey. So I'm going to use this one. Now don't be sad. I have the Simple Stories 6x8 paper pads have 2 sheets each of every pattern or every design. So there that one is again, because I'm going to cover all of that up, but I will have these kind of fun little stripes off to the side. But before I do that, I need to double check to make sure that this will work. So let me get out some white cardstock because I will do my list like that. So we'll just have a little snippet showing. White cardstock. White cardstock, I use 8.5 by 11. I get it off of Amazon. It is a Nina Bright White. It is linked in the description box of the video. So 4 3/4 to think about this. So that's 5. Let's try 4 1/4, and I'll explain that in a second. 4 1/4 for my width, and then 7.5 for my length. Let's see how that works. Did I pull that out yet? I know I'm covering up the cameras, but I'm okay with that because I have, remember I have 2 of those. I have 2 of those. So this guy, I need to trim down. So this is 6x8. The inserts that we use are called standard wide. So this is standard wide. It is 8.25 inches tall by 5 inches wide. So 6x8 pad is great to use because your pattern is scaled down, and then you don't lose too much. You're not cutting too much off. So this guy is already 8 inches tall. So I want to trim it so it is, I'll be okay there for my center. So this needs to be 4 3/4 wide. So 1/2 inch. I'm just going to, I know this is not the brightest way to do this, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm taking a 1/2 inch plus 2 little marks. 1/2 inch plus 1/8, whatever that is. All right, there we go. So I am just literally seeing a little snippet of that, those little strips right there. So that will be one of my pages like that. And then I think I will use that one as my right page, that pink. Unless, no, I'm gonna use that one. So that one, I also need to be 4 3/4. It's 4 3/4 by 8. So that gives me the same space all the way around. I have a little bit of white space all the way around. This is my right page, so I'm going to round the right outside corners. This one is my left page, so I will round the left outside corners. This one, we could still totally do a list with this. What a fun list this would be. Things that make me smile, right? Here's your list. Things that make me smile. And then you have that as the other side. So that could be a list that we could do down the road with this. In fact, I'm just going to, hold on. I need to, oh, right here. Let me make a little note. I have everything planned. I have all of our lists planned for the 24th. But the week, or excuse me, the 25th, so whatever the weekend is after that, it will do things that make me smile. I just have to make my note here. Because if I forget, well, I will forget. So we'll use the flea market smile paper. And you'll never even realize that we've already used it because you're just seeing a little tiny snippet of that. All right, let's get this out of the way. There's too much stuff here. Too much stuff in the way. Too much stuff in the way. I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for when we do our things that make me smile list, because that could just be an accent there, and then I could write my list over here. Easy peasy. So I will remember that. In fact, I will remember that because I'm going to just draw a little sketch of it really quick. Okay. Things that make me smile. Smile, cameras, cameras, cameras. And then we're just having our strip, pink grid. There we go. There's my sketch. So now I'll remember that. Okay. Left page, right page. So let's get these pieces out of the way. Oh, now, okay, guess what? I'm back there again. I'm going back there again. Look at how fun. If this was my list, look at, I could do that. And that's how I could piece together my 2-page list. Or, let me just show you. This is not even the list that we're doing today, but it could be like that. I could use that little piece that I cut off and then put that there. And then I could do my things that make me smile, or I could do over here like that. So we're saving those. We are saving those. And that guy came out. All right, let's get this out of the way. Get those out of the way because now I have too many things in the way. All right, so acronyms. Move this out of the way. Left page, right page. Right page will be here. Got myself confused. Oh, I need to make another one of these. Wow. Denise, I love it when you brainstorm. Yeah, sometimes it's a little scary. It's a little scary seeing how my brain works. Is that the right width? Yes. How long did I make it? I made it 7.5. All right. There we go. So left page. Excuse me. Sneeze. Right page. There we go. Base of our list. Now, I think I would like to try to find an ink color that I can ink the edges of those 2 white pieces. And so my swatches are going to come out again. And we know there's no mint. I really wish there was a mint. I don't think we'll ever see a mint. Cracked pistachio, not even close. Speckled egg, nope. We can find that color. Evergreen bough, that's kind of close to that color. Let's look at the blues. Salvage patina, not it. Peacock feathers, I don't know. Peacock feathers looks like it's pretty close, doesn't it? Tumbled glass, no. See, that's just a mint. There is no mint. All right, I think I am going to try peacock feathers. I also need, that's what we're doing, peacock feathers, because we also need a title. We also need a title. So, peacock feathers, I am going to grab this. That is the ink blending foam storage solution that I have on my website. Well, it doesn't have all those little guys. It has the box and the pre-punched circles and the little Velcro things and then the sheets. But what I've done there is I have created a little blending foam head for each of my distressed colors. So that is peacock feathers because it told me that was peacock feathers. So there's no guessing. I know that's peacock feathers. So let's get out peacock feathers. Let's find it. Hang on. As I am, what is Kitsch Flamingo? Is in the wrong place again. That's why I couldn't find it. For some reason, I put it back in the wrong place. Okay, hang on. Peacock feathers, where are you? Here we go. Peacock feathers. So what I'm going to start out by doing is inking the edges. So I'm taking, I affixed that little domed foam blender to the tool. I am going to rub in a circular motion a couple times and then just ink the edges of that white cardstock. That is going to really make that pop. It is going to make the white not look so stark. It's almost looking like I matted it to a piece of peacock feathers colored cardstock. But I didn't. All I did was take out my little foam blending tool and ink the edges. When we are together on the 25th, we are going to do a fun technique with those little foam blenders. And we just go all the way around and get us some ink on there. Okay, so now when we come back down, look it just pops so much more. Just pops a little bit more. Denise, I did swatch Lash Shadow when we were together last week. It is swatched and in the, I swatched Lash Shadow and then also made the little blender tool for Lash Shadow. Yep, got to do that as soon as a new ink color comes out, because then all the tools are ready when I am ready to use it. Denise said, I was always afraid of inking until you showed me the way, Layle. You guys, I am a little bit more, but usually what you see me do is outline. I'm a little bit of a control freak, and inking is a little bit harder to control, right? That's about as mixed media as I get. I'll use ink on stencils every once in a while, or ink the edges like that. But that's a really easy way. You have a little bit more control with a domed blender as opposed to a flat top blender. All right, so let's just put that on the side for a minute. Oh, I know. Okay, Deborah, maybe it was you. Someone emailed me and said, hey, I have a question. When I used the my inks on the ink foam blenders and watched them and put them in my little storage, they were still wet. And I think she asked, did I do something wrong, or is that the way it's supposed to be? Pigment-based ink, especially the Distress Oxides, those little blenders will stay moist. So you didn't do anything wrong. They will for sure stay moist. Oh, good, it was you, Deborah. They will for sure stay moist. So a lot of times what I will do, I will either use my tweezers. Some people even suggested, like, if you have like like disposable rubber gloves, if you don't like that stuff getting on your hands. But yeah, they will stay moist. That is just part of the properties of a pigment-based ink, especially on those little foam pieces. Yeah, Deborah, you left them out for days, they'll still be wet. Yeah, and they're not like wet, but they will still stay moist, and they will put off some of the ink. So as long as you have them stored somewhere, whether they're stored in the, this little storage tool that I have, or, stored somewhere where they're not going to flop around. If they're flopping around, then the chances of you getting that ink on something else are pretty high. But that's just, that's the property of the ink, and then the blender with it. And then I do my little outlining there. And oh, I tell you, that outlining, I think, makes such a big difference. Look at that compared to that. Look at the difference. Leslie said she's afraid of inking and stamping. Leslie, I hear you. I have not always been a stamper. It's only within the last maybe 4 years. I have learned a lot along the way, and it's all been trial and error. It was on the list for this week. There were two things on the list for this week that didn't get done because the idea book took kind of precedence, but still coming, maybe next week. One is a video on stamping tips, tricks, and techniques. Some things that you can do that will make it much easier to stamp, and your success with stamping, I think, much greater. They're super easy tips. And then the other one is how to use that Epson Creative Print app. They're coming. They are coming. And Denise just said, perfect. Denise said, Leslie, we all were. Don't feel alone. A lot of it is just practicing. That's that little notebook that I had, that I test stamp everything in the notebook, because I would much rather discover something here. I mean, look at this. You see, look at all that test stamping. I would much rather discover something here on a piece of scratch paper than in real life on my project, right? So I'm a huge proponent of test stamping everything before you actually, and then there's other things that will help, but that's one of them for sure. So Joe Disney fan said she just finished swatching. She started, and she used her heat gun high up, not close, to help dry them, so she doesn't have to wait long for them to dry. You could also use just a fan. If you have a little fan, just, put it in front of a fan a couple times to try to get it to dry. Adding new colors between existing colors without touching the wet ones. You mean like on this guy, Deborah? New colors between existing colors without touching the wet ones. What you may want to do, I don't know if you've watched it already, Deborah, but on my website with these products, with the storage, there is a how-to video. There's also a how-to video on my website of the process that my friend Amy went through step by step by step on how she does all of this. So I don't have any of my colors mixing together anywhere on the sheet, but I just followed her process. So that may help. That may help. Dora asked a question. I may have missed it. What type of white paper do you place over the colored paper from the pad? It is white cardstock. It is a Nina Bright White, and it is linked in the description box of the video, Dora. I buy it in like 250 sheet reams from Amazon, and it's like $15 or $20 or something. So you have it for a while. Denise said, I have a try it before you trust it notebook. Exactly. That's exactly what that sample is. Try it before you trust it. That's really helpful. Deborah said, I have them in order shown on Ranger's site. So as my new pads come in, they aren't coming in order. Yeah, that's the other thing. That's why I leave some blanks. So you see there are blanks that I leave blanks. Well, that one for sure, because there's all the purples. But they will continue to come out with new colors. right? They will continue to come out with new colors. There's what I did in my reds. I leave the blank so that as new reds come in fact, Lumberjack Plaid came in after I had done all of these. So they're still not in order, but they are still within the same color family. Room for yellows. That's a hard one. I don't know how to get beyond that because they will continue to release new colors. If you wanted, I can email you that Distress Oxides, the PDF for that. I mean, if you wanted to, every time a new color came out, you could reprint that and then stamp all your colors again. I don't know that I would do that because that's a lot of work, but there's really not a way to get around them, you know, when they release new colors, to have things be in order. I know it's OCD. I get it, Deborah, right? I get it. Here's the thing is that sometimes, I think OCD, and I'm not, I have definitely have some OCD tendencies. And OCD could be on our list here, right? Obsessive compulsive disorder. Sometimes wanting things to be perfect like that prevents people from ever getting started. Like I hear all the time, I haven't started a traveler's notebook yet because I don't know how to start. And I say, you know what? Open a page and start. That's where you have to, well, not you have to decide, is not having it worth feeling in control. And that's a hard one. I know it's a hard one. Deborah, yeah, just email me and I will send you that to download. All right, so what I'm going to do for my title acronyms. This stamp set is the Out the Window stamp set. Okay, the Out the Window stamp set I use for my Out the Window. Hang on, let me see over here. Hang on. Do I have one in here that is adhered? Okay, over here. There's some things happening with these for the idea book, so let me just grab them and I will show you. Because I'm using Out the Window, but not for what it's designed for. Better not show you that one. That's a new stamp set. Okay, so Out the Window. Out the Window, this is what I use the stamp set for. Taking photos and documenting out the window. Whether it is out the airplane window, okay, this was flying from San Diego back to Salt Lake on February 13th, 2022, and that was my view out the window. So that's normally what I use the stamp set for. Those are flights. These are out the window of our RV. So a little RV, and that's where we were, Alpine. Here's another one, the RV, that's where we were, the Wedge. But that stamp set, look, has all of these great letters. It's an alphabet stamp set too. So I am going to stamp the word acronym for my title using these alphas. Now, what will be interesting, ACRONYM. Okay, I'm in the middle of creating a few more of these for the idea book. So I have some letters already set up on my Misty, but I'm just, you know, and then it has those little guys too, to make your grid and then your little icons for the RV or the car or the train or the boat or whatever. But I want the alphas for this one. So let's put those off to the side. And all right, so acronyms. I think I'm going to use that. I think I want to use that. So let's get out our stamping block. Oopsie, that's not a stamping block. Get our stamping block again. I need a larger one. Let's look. ACR. I think it'll fit on this. We'll know pretty quick if it's not going to fit on that. Are you going to do the video with the traveling stamps and setting up a layout? Nancy just asked if I'm going to do a video with the traveling stamps and setting up a layout for the Out the Window stamp set, right? Nancy, I have a blog post in the works right now that will go up probably tomorrow afternoon, where I've taken photos of each step of the process. You you know what I could do? I could probably, I'll see if I can do with that just a video to show how I do it. Yep, I will see if I can do that. It may not happen tomorrow. We'll see. All right, acronym. So A. We'll see if we can fit. C. Uh-oh. Whoopsie. Don't mind me. I am spatially challenged. Did you see what I was doing? I need to set these up reverse because it will go like that. Wow. Spatially challenged. When you are looking at a stamping block or working with stamping blocks, it's a good idea to find stamping blocks that have some kind of grid on them so you can line up your letters in a semi-even line. ACR. When I do the out the window ones, and the blog post will talk about this, I use a MISTI or a stamping platform, and I'll explain why in that blog post that I do that because it makes it much easier. Acro NYMS. Okay, we're not going to fit. So let's go to the big guy. What I've been pulling from, this is a 4-piece acrylic block stamping set that I have on my website. It makes it, well, it's good because it's long. This one's long, but it's nice because then you have 4 different lengths or 4 different size stamping blocks in that one little set. AC, yeah, we'll be good here. ACR, ooh, we're going to be pretty tight. We are going to be pretty tight, left to right here. That's all right. ACRO. DFTBA. Tracy said she has to leave, and she's going to leave, help her dad. And she said, here's my favorite acronym, DFTBA. Don't forget to be awesome. Tracy, were you the one who talked about this list? Normally I write down who suggests a list, but I didn't have anything next to this one for some reason. Acronym, NYM. And then an S, acronyms. NYMS. Wow. Yes, we're almost there. We're almost there. It's kind of fun using, I don't know if I've ever used peacock feathers on anything other than my swatching. Acronyms. Oh, look, it fits. Perfect. Acronyms. All right. I have not used these letters before. This is one of the biggest things about stamping. And it took me a lot of trial and error before I realized, and then somebody probably told me. I think one of the biggest reasons that you do not like your stamped results is because you do not prime your stamps first, okay? These stamps have not been used before. They need to be primed. The reason they need to be primed, and I'll explain what I'm doing here in a sec. The reason they need to be primed is with your photopolymer stamps, there is a very thin, invisible to the eye, can't be like peeled off, layer. And if you stamp straight out of the package without priming your stamps first, that layer is really going to affect your stamped image. I am using a just plain block white eraser, and I am erasing the top of those letters. A really easy way to do it is to take one of your brand new stamp sets like this. As soon as you get them, prime the entire sheet. That's way easier. But I am not doing that, so I'm just doing these. So you can prime a couple of different ways. I'm just using a plain eraser. I do not use this eraser for anything else. Like I'm not erasing like black pencil marks because I don't want it to get all yucky. Some people have said you can like do it on your hand, and that will, like the oils on your hand will take off that. Or sometimes you can just stamp. You can stamp. If you are doing that, you want to do it in your test book or your scratch paper, whatever it may be, because here's a really good example. Look at those 5s. Do you see those 5s? Don't look, to me, they don't look very good. I don't like the way they look because they're all blotchy. Well, the reason why they're blotchy is because I stamped without priming first. It took me 1, 2, 3, 4 tries before I got that 5 to look the way that I wanted it. Now all of that layer is off. So you can prime by stamping a bunch of times, but it's kind of a waste of time because I had to stamp 4 times before I got the right look that I was going for. So priming your stamps, that's a big one. Another really big one talked about is testing, right? Test to make sure that it's the right ink color you want. Test to make sure that your letters are straight or your stamps are straight. Test to make sure that they're spelled correctly. If you're spelling a word like this, your testing can reveal a lot of things. Sometimes you'll get a little hair in on the stamp, and then that will leave a little thin line in your stamped image. So testing is going to do a lot of things for you. It will point out a lot of problems and hopefully give you the ability to fix the problems before you actually start stamping on a project. All right, acronyms. Deborah said she got too much eraser lint on her stamps when she primed them, so she's been happier priming by rubbing the stamp on her arm. So yes, that's the other thing. You don't have a big black mark that you are trying to erase off. If you have the little like eraser tailings, so there, I probably just did not give myself enough even pressure, longer, wider, right? So I need to make sure to apply even pressure. I also may have missed a couple of those spots in my priming. So do you see how it's very possible I could have missed my priming on the A and on the N? But that's what my testing does for me, right? I can come back in again with my ink. Ink is another factor. Ink matters. If you're buying ink, stamping ink from the dollar store, well, you can probably expect results from the dollar store. Now, nothing wrong with that. And dollar store has some great products, but, you know, sometimes you get what you pay for. The other thing is the paper that you're stamping on makes a big difference. You don't want to stamp on, well, I shouldn't say you don't. If you want a nice flat impression, you don't want to stamp on a textured paper. If you're stamping on a textured paper, it is going to mess with your stamped impression. I always am stamping on, when I'm stamping on white, I'm stamping on that Nina Bright White cardstock. It's a nice flat white. It's a nice thickness. But paper, just like everything else, paper is made differently. All papers are not made equal. Again, I don't have quite enough pressure there, but we'll be good. I'll make sure to watch for my pressure when I am stamping that word. So acronyms will go here. Are we still happy with the peacock? I think we are. So let's ink that puppy up one more time. Let me just do this a couple more times. Oopsie. Okay. Now we'll ink up and stamp. Here we go. Steffavella, hello. Steffavella said, I have to say I love all your pages and ideas. Thank you. I have to get better at actually working in my traveler's notebooks. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. You can watch or you can work. You can do both, right? You can do both. Oh, that I said puppy. That's funny. Colleen, I love that tip about priming the whole set while it's on the sheet. It will help for prepping for Cop and Create delivered card making during homework. Yeah, you can do a full sheet like that for sure. That does make it a lot easier. The other probably reason why, hang on. Let me look at something really quick. This is something, and I wasn't paying close enough attention. This is something usually that will come out in your test as well. Look at my N. The top of my N is totally curved. And I just noticed that when I saw it down here. So hang on. I am going to fix that curve. Oh, I know why it's curved, because I was trying to get them all too close together. The little Y is pushing on it. Oh, well, it'll just have to be a little bit curved because I'm not going to replace all those. I'm not going to replace all those. What I was saying is the other reason why I was still having a little bit of space, not quite a fully even impression, is because I was stamping in that composition notebook. And so I was not using a pencil board underneath it. Okay, acronyms. Good morning, Karen Haynes. Good for you. You slept in. That's good. Sometimes we've got to do what we got to do, right? Especially on a weekend like this. UPS is here. Oh, he's bringing another big shelf for downstairs. He probably hates me. That thing looks like it weighs like 100 pounds. Sorry. Yes, especially this weekend, getting our rest, because tonight is daylight savings. Public service announcement. Oh, that's another one I need to add to my acronym list. PSA. There we go. Okay, well, okay. I didn't quite get what I needed there, so we're going back to our little trick again. I'm going to take my little itty bitty. And sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes things happen. So when things happen, have a plan on how you can fix it. If you missed me doing this earlier, that's a super fine tip. That is a super fine tip paintbrush. And I am just painting in. Now, there's nothing wrong with that look. I just don't prefer it. Nothing wrong with that look, though. So if you're like, why is she doing that? It looks fine to me. You do you. There we go. We just paint that in a little bit. Oh, yes, acronym I need to add is PSA, Public Service Announcement. I use that one a lot. There we go. Not perfect, but it's better. I can live with it now. All right, and then I'll just clean it off really quick with my little thing. Yes, Q-tip would work, although that is really narrow. That is a really narrow font, so it'd be a little bit harder to Q-tip that guy. A little bit harder to Q-tip. Wanda said, I like stamps okay, but I like stickers better, but that's me. So absolutely, I think there's a time and place for both. The time and place, if I wanted that color and I didn't have an alphabet sticker that color, well, that's when a stamp. I can get way more specific on what I want with a stamp. And then cost-wise, if it's something like a font that you are really like, that you really, whoopsie, you may have just seen that. Did you see how fast that flew out of my hand? Okay, I have to watch the camera again. I got to see that. That whole time sitting there was the packaging sample for another new stamp set. That one that was right there. Whoopsie, that was fast. I'm the boss. I can show you whatever I want, but I just am not ready to show that yet. All right, but if you wanted to do rewind, you might see a little, you might get a little hint about that stamp set. All righty, where's my ruler? I'm going to do a little underline here. Like that. So that will just help to visually separate the rest of my list. Now, I am going to decorate before I write, because on this one, I want to add, hang on. I want to add some things all over. I want to just have it be really colorful and lots of fun little icons and things. And then I will write my acronyms in between all of that. There we go, nice and clean. And I'm just going to pop them back on the stamp set very quickly, okay? That will, when I have like 800 of those to do later, when I'm trying to clean all the things up, it's so daunting when it's like 2 hours for me to clean everything up after one of these. So if I can do a little bit at a time, that's good. A little bit at a time, that's good. And now I have a little bit of like residue from the baby wipes, just not ideal. I need to go to a chamois, and then I don't have that little residue because I've got some little like little fur from the boots with the fur. I have some fur from the Oh my heavens, Layle, what am I saying? From the wipe. Fur from the wipe. All right, let's get that off to the side. All right, here we go. So let's take a look at those products from flea market. I'm gonna open some of those and we'll look at that. Maybe that. Whoopsie. All right. This off to the side so I can kind of keep colors in mind. And open these guys. The ruler, Scrapinology, yes, that little ruler, that I use that ruler all of the time. Either if I need to make a straight line like that or for setting up my alpha stickers. So, totally generic. Well, some of them are generic stickers, die cuts that I'm using here. But none of them are really going to have any meaning to the list, right? I can put a record player on my acronym list. It doesn't matter. I could put suitcases. I could put a little transistor radio. I could put a fun camera, all the things. So I'm just looking for like fun color and pattern just to pull in. Doesn't necessarily have to mean something. Like the fan isn't an acronym for a fantastic and noteworthy. I don't know. I just made that one up. I don't think that is a... I don't think fantastic and noteworthy is an acronym. Oh, typewriter. We know we like typewriters. That kind of pink globe is fun, isn't it? All right. So those were the regular die cuts from Flea Market. There are floral die cuts from Flea Market. I may pull one or two of those out if I need a little something. There are journal bits. Let me look. The Scrabble board was cute, wasn't it? Yeah, that Scrabble board is really fun. Right there. Oh, that's Monopoly. There was a different Scrabble board, right? Was there? I think. I don't know. Monopoly, Scrabble. All right, these are the journal bits. So maybe that one, maybe something like that. Blessed, beautiful notes. That's kind of fun. I'm just pulling out a bunch of things that are just kind of speaking to me right now. So, oh, look at how fun. Doesn't that look like a little price tag? Library card. Oh, I like this. The best days, a record. That's cool. All right, anyhow, oh, yep, like that one. All right, so I'm just pulling out some things to maybe use. I have lots of options. All right, let's get this put away now. And then I have the flowers if I need them, but I also have the sticker book in case I feel like I need something else. All right, so let's just start building. Let's just start creating our little base here. Like that, that's kind of fun. I just want to put some things... out and about. Look at, interesting. I pulled lots of the teal things, didn't I? I pulled lots of the teal. I thought that would be fun, but it doesn't really work because the pink is so different than what I've already pulled. Maybe that's somewhere in there. Maybe that's over there. Oh, but I kind of like this pink one. Let's do that pink one instead of that color. So none of this stuff has anything to do with an acronym, right? None of it has anything to do with an acronym. But I'm just using it because I think it's fun. We can do that. Let's see. Oh, Deborah said a Scrabble board would be a good choice for acronyms letters. It absolutely would. It absolutely would. It's on the bottom right corner of the tray. Oh, there it is. It was on the bottom right corner of the tray. That could be fun, couldn't it? better not box myself in like that. All right, so I just I made a few little visual points here where my eye can land, but I need to come in with this one, this one, this one with something, a third something, because there are just two. There's two, and two. One of the things that came up on the What's New Wednesday on Thursday this week was we talked a little bit about layering. We were talking about layering for some reason, and someone said, oh my gosh, I struggle with layering. I don't know how to layer. And I said, oh, well, maybe we'll cover layering. That's one of the things that we'll do next week when we're doing our all-day session. But one of the big things is going into threes, going into odds. I shouldn't say threes because it could be fives or sevens or nines, like the old store, right? Remember that? Old store, 5, 7, 9. And you either had to be a size 5 or a size 7 or a size 9 to shop there. But in odds, if you are layering, that's the biggest tip is odds. Like look at, by just adding that right there, that really helped to kind of balance it out. So that's probably my biggest tip. And then the other thing is I just move things around, right? I just move things around. Let me look here and see. Our stickers are going to give us a few more little things, right? Some small things. Smaller, maybe. If we don't, oh, I love these. Love those. Maybe. So I love this peachy color. But, or coral, I guess, but we really don't have that coral going on anywhere. So what if we use we could use that one. Maybe we'll use the mint one. Maybe the mint one here will help give a little bit more of a something for us. But I don't want to cover that up. If I cover that guy up, what if we do that? And then what if we come up with something a little bit, nope, not that. Aha, even though I'm going to cover up the heart, I kind of like that. And then this color is over there. So, I mean, it's kind of a different color and I don't really love it, but it helps to bring this color into this side of the page from over there. So if we just do that, then there's our little cluster. The best cluster, a good kind of cluster, not a bad cluster, right? Then this can go right about there. All right, now I need to come in and put a little bit of adhesive under this guy. TOS, tired of snow. Oh my gosh, I love that scrapinology. Never heard that one. Did you make that one up, TOS? Yes, we have a ton of snow here. We have a ton of snow here in Utah right now. Lots and lots and lots. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, that kind of has to sit there. I'd really like it if it could come out that way a little bit, but then it's weird. That little zero's in the way. So we'll just have it be right there. Okay, so here, we're good here, except there's a couple things I need to do. First of all, those are all die cuts. There's 3 die cuts there. And that is hard to place. I have them placed right there. Wait a minute, shoe shopping. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Shoe shopping. Wait, what? Shoe size for shopping? I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, Debbie, look at that. Debbie said, where did it go? A good tip recently heard for clustering is to have all the pieces touching. Yeah, for sure, because look at this. If I put this right there, then it's just weird. It's like it's floating out there all on its own. That's a great tip. Yep, have it, all the pieces touching. All of those pieces are touching. So with these right here, what I was saying right here is those are all individual pieces. And if I say, oh, you know what? I really like that placement. Well, it's going to be hard for me to get that placement again It's going to be hard for me to get that exact placement again because I have to take each of those off individually and place them, right? Actually, I don't, because if I use this magical tape, this is called highlighter tape. This I have on my website. It is meant for like highlighting in a textbook. It's reusable. That's why I have these pieces here. All that you do is take a little piece of that tape, and I will put those right there on those three, like that. And then I'll put another one here so it just keeps them together. Like that. So now everything is hooked together. I can peel that off in one piece, exactly where I have them laid out, and I can add my adhesive. Now I'm going to have to add my little yep, I'm going to have to add on after the fact because it is not there. So then I look at this, and actually I think I want this up a little bit more because I don't want those even. There we go. And then these little pieces just peel right back off. And they are designed to be used like with a book. So your paper is not going to tear. Anything that just came off of is not going to tear underneath. Now I just need to add my yep. Okay, there's my cluster, except now I don't like that quite that low, so we just lift that back up again and reposition it. Like that, all right? But that, for me, when I'm doing clusters with die cuts, that tape, that highlighter tape makes it a lot easier, so you can kind of retain your shape. All right, so those two can go right there, but now we need something else up in there. No. Here's another thing. When we're talking about, yeah, that highlighter tape is pretty awesome, isn't it? Oh, Debbie, you're going to make us all jealous. Debbie said she wished she could share a photo of her pool view right now. Debbie, you recently retired, right? I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. Oh, shoe size. No, 579. Yeah, that was clothing. Think, right? Debbie, you retired maybe 6 months ago, so you deserve to have a pool view. All right. So here's another thing about layering. That does not work together. Do you know why that doesn't work? Because those are all kind of the same size, right? So here that worked. These were different sizes. We had a vertical rectangle. We had a horizontal rectangle. Then we had a square. Here we have square, vertical, horizontal. This is way too big. It's way too big. Those two are too similar in size. So I would not use that there. That's another thing when it comes to layering. Your scale really matters. But if I do that, that's not bad. Because even though it's kind of the same size as that, it has a totally different shape. I can make it work. I will add 2 more things to that one in a sec that will help to make it work. So, oh, I need my highlighter tape again. I don't have the purple color. The purple one's the first one that I got. My friend Avi gave it to me. But I have the pink and the blue. They're all the same, but I'm just usually not a purple fan. Oh my gosh, look at that. Debbie said a year ago. Okay, time flies, huh? Time flies in your retirement, Debbie. All right, all of those are now connected together. I can pull that whole thing up. And do my adhesive. Turn that back over. And here we go. This is a good thing. If you have a whole bunch of kind of mismatched, I don't know, die cuts left over and you're like, I don't even know what to use those for. Well, build some clusters on a list or on a project, on a layout or something that's super generic that you can just use things for, right? This has nothing to do. This list has nothing to do with anything being vintage or flea market, right? I think this particular collection, and I love it because it's so like fun and hip and retro, and I love the color palette, but I think it's something that maybe scared some people away because it is named Flea Market, right? Is there a smaller globe? I don't know. Let's see. There's like a globe, but it's still, I mean, it's a little bit smaller, but not much. Not much smaller. All right, I am going to take this middle ticket out. Here's a fun little tip. So these, because it was one piece, those edges are perforated, right? But the one I just cut out of the middle isn't perforated. And if I decided I wanted to use this, I don't know, maybe right in there, with another one, I'll add something else. But if I wanted to use that in there, but I wanted it to be perforated, I can make a perforated really easily. I can make a perforated by, this may be too hard, this one. Taking a hole punch. I'll go with the smaller size. Taking a hole punch. Oops, see what's in there. Try it again. Taking a hole punch and just doing, I did a little bit too much there. Okay, I'll show you what I did. I did way too much on that top one, but look at that second one, and this is okay. I'll just hide this one under the edge. There, I just made a little perforation, right? So I'm gonna do that on this edge, and then I'll have a little bit of that perforation up from the top. Scrapinology says she bought Flea Market. She loves the eclectic look. I really do too. And I love the color palette because it's totally different. It's just fun and fresh and, okay, I'm making my little perforated marks here. There we go. That was pretty fast, but I can have a little perforation here. And actually something like this, look what I could do. If I'm not seeing the whole thing, I could even cut part of it off and then use that other side for something else if I wanted. Oh, but I wanted, let's see how we could do this. Maybe we just end up with that little bit of color right there. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? We're just plain. We're just plain. There's too much of this. Hang on. Hang on. I'm being a little type A right here. Yeah. Kind of had to fix that little piece. All right, so now I'm 4. So the 4 looks a little funny. Deborah's asking if anybody has the old, like decal edge scissors, right? Like the decal edge scissors. Okay, so now look what I'm doing. I am, whoopsie, we've got to get our fan on there still. I'm pulling out some, I'm still going to use that because I think it'll still be fun. I'm pulling out puffy hearts. The puffy hearts, because there'll be some colors in here. There's color waves. These are all from Doodlebug, and I have all of these on my website, but for each color, like you can really see it here, bubblegum, there's 3 different color waves. So you kind of have a light pink, a medium pink, and a really dark, pink. And then you have the 3 different sizes of each of those colorways. So I can start to pull in a little bit of color, but also give myself a, where's the mint? Aha. I can also give myself, in this case, an odd number because I have 4 there right now. If I grab one of these mints, and we could do, there. That works there. Let's keep the mints out and see. I think we need to get a pink in here. Might need a pink in that spot instead because that's pretty, oh, I can go with that one. Let's do bubblegum. And then that will help to bring a little bit of that color out maybe. Because there's a lot of mint happening down there right now. If we grab that one. There we go. Okay. Now we need something in here. I don't think I want to use mint because it's too many mints. There's a lot of mint down there. So let's see what we might use there. Yellow. Would really like a really, ooh, there we go. Okay, the coral. The coral is kind of that pinky color. Oddhild. Oddhild. I'm sure I just butchered your name. Oddhild Bogstad said goat, greatest of all time. Yes, like the actual animal who stays outdoors here in the summer. Load and great all the time. So tell me where that is for you. Where are you from? Okay, there we go. See, just put a little thing there. Now I have 4, but I think that's okay because it's barely 4. It's barely 4, right? Oh, a great list would be listing tips. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a big one. Norway. Yes, wonderful. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me just add that to our list of list topics here. Listing tips or design tips. Whoopsie. And that was Dora. Okay. All right. So now it's about time we start listing here in a minute. I think I will leave everything else. Probably I won't do anything else in here for quite yet. And then we'll do some listing and then we'll figure out what's going to come later, what we maybe need to fill in the blanks. All right. Okay. So as I do my list, oh, that's a good. No idea. What in the heck? I have full battery. Oh, I know. I'm not, dummy. Okay. I am going to end. Oh, hold on. Look it. Could you see that? Can we see that? That's when I was trying to figure it out. I'm back. Wow. Okay, well, it's going to rotate itself again in a minute, so hang tight. That is the weird. I did nothing. I did nothing. So just give it a second. I don't know if you guys are seeing what you're seeing because look it. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Hang on. There we go. Are we good? Okay. So I think we're back. I have no idea, you guys, no idea what happened. I didn't change anything. I just pulled it off the stand to try to figure out what was going on, but no, anyhow. So that's good. I was going to say I was going to end our session and start a new one, but we're good. Anyhow, so what I was pulling out, I have no idea when we got disconnected there, but what I was pulling out are the dot markers. So I'm going to use a dot marker for my bullets. Instead of a bullet stamp, I'm going to use a dot marker for my bullets. And that one I pulled